this is PG, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Massive Chalice. It's on Xbox and PC. Massive Chalice is a turn-based tactics game developed by Double Fine Productions. In Massive Chalice you have to manage a society of people who are fighting a century-long conflict against a mysterious enemy. Okay, gameplay, well it's broken down into two distinct areas, turn-based combat and society management. First, let's look at the combat. So every so often, your lands will be invaded by a hostile force. At this time, you have to choose which battle to fight. Once chosen, you send a selection of warriors into a level to fight off this attack. Now, it's permadeath, so anyone who dies is not coming back. Each character has a different class, different weapon, different moveset. You've also got an allocated of movement and action points per attack, and it's all about balancing your group, positioning them correctly and taking down the enemies in good time. Now, sounds straightforward, right? Well, yes, it is. But the other part of Massive Chalice is very tricky, the society management. Your people are divided into two areas. You've got warriors and custodians of the buildings and the land. If you make a warrior the owner of a castle, that warrior retires from combat, and paired with a suitable partner, this couple over time will spawn children, who in turn can become warriors or custodians themselves. So it's a delicate matchmaking game of finding the right people to do the right jobs, ensuring you've got enough troops as well to fight the war. But it is definitely a game for the long haul, in more ways than one. The action takes place over hundreds of years, people die of old age, children are born, generations come and go, and the aim of the game is to survive long enough to develop something that will defeat the invaders. Also, it's a very tough game. Let me tell you, the first few runs you will not last that long, but in time, with better choices, you'll do a lot better. So it's a turn-based game with a bloodline story within it, lots of key choices to make, and pretty solid combat as well. Visually, it's a nice pastel shaded affair with clean menus, nice character design, a very straightforward approach. The sound on mostly is top notch barring the voiceovers who, frankly, are very annoying. Okay, good and bad points. What's good? Due to the time spent developing your community, it gives the game a sense of scale and heritage. The turn-based combat is solid. The matchmaking is quite an interesting subplot and it's a cool premise. Bad points, it can be quite unforgiving at first, the long-winded nature may be a turn-off for some, and the turn-based combat isn't as in-depth as I was hoping. Okay, verdict. Massive Chalice, it's an interesting idea with a core concept that deals with time, bloodlines and managing a large community. Does it succeed? Well, yes and no. I'd say the combat, it's generic, but it's fine. It does what it needs to do, but it never really blew me away. I think personally, the time-lapse feature was a very cool thing. You know, how you make choices, who rules the land, who you pair them with, how this will affect their kids. Will they be good leaders? Will they be good warriors? You know, all of that stuff. It's very cool, it's interesting, and it's quite an innovative idea that I would like to see in more games. Scoring, I think it's a good game. I'd give Massive Chalice, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's got potential. Maybe it isn't quite as good as it could have been, but it's a really nice idea. Okay, that's the review. Thank you for watching. This is PG, signing off. Cheers.